Good evening, thank you, and welcome to the stage. We're on our last event for the evening. This one is Game, Set and Stream, Premier Padel redefines global sports delivery with IP and cloud. So I'd like to introduce Steve McMurray and Holly Flatley to the stage, who will present this for you. Thank you.
Excellent. Good afternoon, good evening. Hi, everyone. I'm Steve McMurray, Head of Digital Media Development at Globecast. And at Globecast, we've been looking after people's very trusted and high-value sports content for many, many years now. And I'm delighted to say that we work together with wonderful people like Holly at Premier Padel and deliver best fit broadcasting solutions for their content. And if you don't know Holly already, I'll tell you a bit about her because she is a bit of a broadcasting legend. So she's a seasoned broadcast professional with over 15 years experience across live production, international sports, strategic broadcast delivery. And as head of broadcast at Premier Padel, she oversees the global live production and distribution strategy for one of the world's fastest growing sports. Holly's career spans a diverse portfolio of roles with leading sports organisations and broadcasters, including Discovery, IMG, ITV, Pitch International, Tennis Australia, and the International Tennis Federation. That's quite a few there. That's pretty impressive.
And quite a few.
From rugby, football, and cycling to volleyball and tennis, Holly has played a pivotal role in the successful delivery of world-class events across Europe, Asia, and Australia. So, now we've set the scene, let's take a look at the world of Premier Padel. Great, very impressive stuff. Very impressive. So as a quick show of hands, how many people have actually played Padel here? Very impressive, very impressive.
Not as many as I thought, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, let's see how, we'll do that at the end and see how many people we convinced, I think. Yeah, so that's great. So very exciting stuff. Holly, you've had such a unique opportunity here with Premier Padel. And it didn't come with a rule book, and you literally wrote the broadcast rule book on this one. You don't get much more of a blank page than having to write it yourself. That's really quite rare in sport. Coming from your background at the ITF and Pitch, what were the first sort of principles or instincts that came to mind when you're thinking about how this should be brought to life and brought to the screen?
Yeah, so when I was first approached about it to set up the broadcast, my first thing was, well, what's Padel? I didn't know actually what Padel was. So having worked across all of the various sports, football, cycling, tennis, as you said, I quickly realised this isn't tennis. It's so different. It's in a glass box for a start. There's lots of out-of-court play. It's really dynamic. So I needed to create a view of how to represent this sport and televise all the athleticism action. So it was what cameras to use, where to place them, how to kind of create a three-tiered approach, because we have majors events, P1s and P2s. And cost effective with it being kind of a startup, but without jeopardising quality.
I mean, it must have been a bit of a challenge to find the right balance between using all that experience and challenging things in a different way that it hasn't been done before. So sticking to the rule, but writing your own at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing to go by, so I was writing the rule book, and it was where to place microphones. There's a lot of communication on court, at the side of court with coaches, which a lot of sports don't have. So it was kind of relaying that to our audience and really creating kind of a new narrative and how to push this sport globally.
Superb. And so with that kind of newness to it, am I right in saying that some of the venues as well that you got to visit, they were quite new too? Some of them, the paint hadn't quite dried by the time you got there. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's a really versatile sport, and we have gone from kind of iconic venues like Roland Garros, where we are this week, to venues that you're talking about that are built, kind of purpose-built for the sport. And they both come with challenges, and we've worked really hard with Roland Garros to kind of move it from a well-known tennis event to now it's a real paddle platform, and that's educating promoters, because a lot of the time people were likening it to tennis, but as I said, it really is different. And then we have issues with humidity, different climates, indoor, outdoor, and it really affects the play, the scheduling. So we've moved from 8 events to 25. So
it's unbelievable. And they're not short events, are they? I mean, they start often on a Monday, 10 hours of action a day at least on the main court and secondary court, all the way through to the weekend. That's quite a kind of big stretch.
Yeah, they're very long days. Have to be quite tough to work on them. I mean, if you have an 8-match day, you're looking at, it could potentially be 16 hours, because I'd always say a match could go around 2 hours. So they're really long days, and again, kind of planning, scheduling, and how we manage
that live environment with multiple courts as well. That must be quite a task to keep across that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a juggling act, and we can have up to, I think we've got maximum 7 courts at some venues. Wow. So we'll have at least 2 or 3, and then everything's streamed. So all matches are covered from the main draw to the finals, and then it's streamed. Well, as you will know, we'll lead into that, but
absolutely. I mean, the interesting thing, obviously, we've kind of seen it grow at Glowcast from 8 events, which were traditionally delivered via satellite, to 25 events now completely via IP. So getting into that kind of technical side of it a little bit more, you've got multiple courts, you've got branded, unbranded feeds, there's quite a bit of complexity. So why was shifting to IP and cloud-based delivery important for Premier Padel? And what's it kind of unlocked in terms of flexibility and cost and control? Because obviously low latency and security are must-have and high quality. But how's that IP and cloud tech enabled you to accommodate all that content coverage and include things like dynamic advertising and localization?
Yeah, so one of the key areas that when I was setting this up was the satellite time was it was churning money, and the long days, and particularly if you're strapped for space, it could be tricky to move across. So a big thing for me was, how do we kind of, again, keep the reliability for broadcasters? I knew some had already kind of were using it, some weren't. So it was let's show that this works, and and it will work.
And it's worked so far.
And it's working, and it's really helping me with. It's a lot easier for me to plan, again, with lots of schedule changes. It helps, and it's offering a lot more flexibility for other partners that might be joining, that can also take those streams.
That's good. That's good to hear. I mean, in terms of, I think we avoided some of that network contention when things were going on at the weekend with the satellite capacity being at a premium. Obviously, we kind of avoided that. And has scaling up the number of stakeholders and takers, really, the rights holders, has that been made easier, I hope, in terms of the number of takers and onboarding them?
Yeah, a lot easier. And also because of the volume of events, once everybody's set up, they're set up and they're good to go. So again, it's a lot easier process, and just kind of onboarding those people, and once they're ready, it's made it a lot easier. And as we continue to grow, it's going to be even more important, because we're already in 242 territories, and when we continue to get more and more interest, we'll have more broadcasts taking our events, and it will help us further. So
Excellent. Well, that's good news. I mean, hopefully that sort of static nature of providing those parameters at the start of the season, and they can just tick, and it frees you up. You've got enough things to be worrying about. I can imagine.
I'm spinning lots of plates, trying not to drop them. That's one I don't want to drop. So.
Excellent. Good. Well, I'm glad that's working well. In terms of the global opportunity and what's next for Premier Padel, you've already taken the sport to the Middle East, to Latin America. Where do you see Padel going next in terms of territories, broadcast partners, and growing the fan base? I mean, what role does the broadcast and digital operation play in supporting that for Premier Padel?
So we're still continuing to expand the tour. So we are looking at new promoters to create that true global tour and expand into other countries where padel's on the rise. Then from my point of view, there's a lot that I'm trying to do with the broadcast to further it along. So, there's a lot of statistics, archive, creating more content through those platforms that we can kind of provide to our fans and engage further.
So would you say having that sort of transmission chain sitting fully in the sort of IP cloud domain removes barriers to leveraging that content for things like clipping, social media feeds, highlights production, customizing feeds, that kind of fits?
Yeah, and it's helping me a lot, because when I'm having those conversations, I know that I've got that that kind of pathways already set up. Right. So I know that when they're on, if they come on board, then we've already got a way to deliver those feeds to the companies. So, yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, fitting in that sort of bouquet of services is got to be so much easier once it's all sitting in that happy IP family.
And and a lot of the content as well, not only from my side, but then the social side, that's needed in real time, and social posts. So it's kind of helping other areas of our company as well.
Turn around and surfacing that content. Cool. So I've got to get onto this. You're a player too, aren't you, Holly?
I am. Not competitive at all.
You've got one of the most demanding jobs, obviously, being on site, doing that production role, but you still manage to get out on the court, and I hear smash it a little bit in the odd tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So, from a player's point of view, what is it about padel that makes it so addictive and fun, so accessible, and how do you translate that energy and magic into the way it's shown to fans around the world?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just it is, as soon as you start playing, for people who haven't started yet, you will get addicted. You can take it at your own pace. I played when I was 6 months pregnant and had great matches.
Did you win?
I did. I won a tournament as well. Couldn't get the drop shots, but doesn't matter. And then obviously that translate into the professional league, where again, the athleticism, it's a really difficult sport, or you can make it quite basic if you want that. So I think it's really sociable, and it's accessible, as I say. So it's, again, I think it's us working with recreational players. So we're trying to obviously get more viewers, but then by people watching our feed, they can really see, that shot was amazing, I want to go and replicate that and try it on my court myself. And you realise you can't do it most of the time, because what these players are doing is insane.
But you can get involved. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, they're popping up everywhere. I know it's been a hotbed in Spain and Italy for a long time, but you can fit almost, 3 paddle courts in the size of a tennis court? It's brilliant, isn't it? And for people who can't serve like me, it's really it's very accessible.
That's it, and I think it's the buzz around it is amazing, and I live in Bristol, and we've got lots of centres open there, and it's full. Everything's full, and people are just constantly talking about paddle. I know I'm in the circle, but that's all I seem to hear. So
yeah, likewise. Well, that's brilliant. I mean, it's been a fascinating insight into what's a very exciting and sort of fast-growing sport, and I think we've got time maybe for a couple of questions if there are any. Oh, we've got.
Hi, just extending your question about content. Where do you look at immersive content, both in terms of the broadcasting and even futuristic glasses for your fan base?
Right. So are you anticipating the Apple kind of goggles and you being able to sit there courtside? Or is that a bit further down the horizon, I think?
I think because we're so new, again, like we are looking at everything. So it's how we can continue, and we want to be different. So we're fighting amongst already established sports, and we're trying to get those kind of, prime time spots. So it is a lot of like, what tech is there? What can we do? What could we do that's different to other sports? And as I say, the sport does offer different things to, say, your tennis fans, or so. Yeah, we're very much looking at that from my team and then the digital team.
It's quite an innovative sort of mindset all round, isn't it? I think so. It's exciting because it's not been done before. So I think it sounds like you're open to that.
I thought you might.
Yeah, just a quick question. Sometimes there's an association with a move to a IP delivery across unmanaged networks, internet delivery segments and stuff like that. And you talked about how that's driven a bunch of flexibility and agility, better control, easier reach to takers and things like that. Is there any concerns, or what's your experiences with the service reliability alongside that increase in flexibility and reach?
Good question. I mean, we do choose some, kind of best in breed tech, as we always have done at Glowcast, and hopefully Holly feels as though we've reflected that in the kind of service delivery that we've got. I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, it's got to work, hasn't it? I think what's under the bonnet for Padel. Sorry, I just jumped in there and answered that, Holly. So I think that's really, to a certain degree, we're trusted with that. It's kind of immaterial because it's got to work for the end client and the end taker. And there is going to be a little bit more pressure in delivering that. But thankfully, these solutions that we have are very, very scalable. And so if there is secondary court content, or if there's more shoulder content, or if there's localized language feeds, or if you want to go into a particular kind of territory with particular branding restrictions, I think particularly when we're looking at maybe betting partners or sponsors like that, you've got that flexibility, whereas traditionally it was just a generic world feed, I think, wasn't it? And,
so it's allowing then our commercial team to get new sponsors, and we can kind of divvy up feeds, and what one broadcaster could have another one might not be able to, so it's really helping that as well.
Does that answer that? Thank you. Okay, well, what can I say? But thank you very much indeed, Holly, for coming along and sharing your time with us. Just to give Holly another plug as well, she's speaking at the SVG Women's Forum tomorrow. So,
Come on down.
Another chance to kind of experience more paddle joy. And thank you very much indeed. And just before we finish there, just a quick show of hands again. How many people, after seeing that, would go and try paddle? Oh, look at that. You can't ask for better. Thank you very much indeed. It's been good. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending as well. This is our final session for the day. If you want any more information on sessions for the rest of the week, you can look up on the IBC website, or the IBC Daily, or the IBC app. So thank you very much and have a good evening. Cheers.
brothers, if you will. Now, isn't that a great theme?